Yes, Your Honor. Good evening, Sergeant Allen, Wright. Good evening. As stated under regs, you mentioned that there were discussions between Pat Hopper and Jackie Whistler, correct?
Yes.
Now, with your expert analysis of these discussions, you have no idea what their discussions entail, correct?
I do.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness with his affidavit? And your credentials? That shows no motion affidavit, correct?
Yes, that is.
And that is your signature?
Yes, it is. Is it here, Councilman?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Is there anywhere in your affidavit where you mention that you have knowledge of what they discussed during those conversations?
Now, let me check. I'm sorry, I must have found that. I apologize.
So to clarify, you did not mention in your affidavit, which was going to be presented as evidence in this case, that you knew what the discussions entailed in Hopper and Whistler.
Well, you might be testifying if there was anything else that
Please answer a yes or no response, Sergeant.
Can you please repeat the question? I apologize.
Based on the fact that you did not mention this in your affidavit, which was submitted in evidence to this case, you do not have any knowledge of what the discussions were about between Hopper and Whistler.
You're saying based on the affidavit alone, not based on
And your
my
expert analysis.
I do. Based on my
Your expert analysis, however, are not outlined in your affidavit pertaining to a phone call to Whistler.
If I put every single detail of my extremely thorough investigation, my affidavit would be 200 pages long. We'd be here for hours and hours on end. Councilman,
Although even if you were to put those information in, you'd think you would want to put that in if it were to bolster your work as an expert, right?
I knew I'd be testifying here, saying if there were questions, I would be able to answer them while I was testifying. You understand?
You left out some information a bit.
Your Honor, counsel's question is part of your affidavit.
He has not answered in the yes or no format about if he knew specifically, if he knew what the discussions were about, which was not for Whistler. So Sergeant Wright, can you repeat the question? I'd like you to answer in a yes or no format only. Based on your expert analysis and what you have submitted in this affidavit, you do not know what Hopper and Whistler discussed during the 2 phone calls your phone log had analyzed.
Based on my expert analysis, yes. Whereas expert
It is
analysis
not stated in your affidavit as evidence.
No, it's not the affidavit.
Not affidavit. Thank you. Now, in fact, with your expert analysis and what has been at the affidavit, you have no idea if what happened between Hopper and Whistler was even a discussion at all.
Yes, I do. Phone records record voicemails very differently than cell phone calls themselves that actually took place and were connected.
You may approach the witness again with his affidavit. Objections, Mr. Counsel. Is your affidavit?
Yes.
That is your signature.
Yes, it is.
Can you please outline in your affidavit where you state that your phone log can differentiate between conversation left by voicemails and actual conversations?
In my affidavit, I stated 2 calls between Hopper and Whistler. You don't have a call between people unless they were talking to each other.
But you do not specifically outline that in your affidavit.
It's common knowledge that you can't say phone
Please answer
conversation.
yes or no format, Sergeant Wright.
I can't answer that question, I guess.
Your Honor, please direct the Sergeant Wright to answer yes or no format.
Yes, sir. Yes. I don't have anything inside this.
Bringing up these questions in an effort to try and impeach the witness on an expert testimony. Sergeant Wright, in that affidavit sitting before you, you do not specifically outline the difference between voicemails and conversations. Yes or
No,
no?
because I said they were calls, and calls
So that is a no.
Calls implied there were 2 people talking to one another.
Again, Sergeant Wright, that is a no from you.
It's a somewhat, no, somewhat yes.
You said no.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you that a call indicates that 2 people are talking to each other. If there was a voicemail, I would have said in my affidavit a voicemail message was left. I would have differentiated it. Since I said call, I was indicating that 2 people were talking to one another.
You left that out, so that does entail a reasonable doubt.
No, I did not read it out on purpose. I'm not going to go and say that there were no voicemails. If I said there were two columns between the two parties. This indicates that the two parties spoke to one another. If they didn't speak to one another, I would have used a different terminology.
Now, Sergeant Wright, you analyzed Hopper's computer, correct?
That is correct.
You heard Ms. Wilson's testimony?
Yes.
So you heard her say that she knows Hopper stole the stuff.
I don't remember her necessarily saying she knows that he stole the star.
Knows Hopper was involved with
She
this.
said she knew he was in the house.
She knew that.
That he was in the house. Yes, we all know that.
May I approach the witness with Western Marches Exhibit S2? Objections? Show Western Marches take Exhibit S2. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's a Facebook page about the event telling the devotees to go home, describing an event that would have taken place Sunday, July 4, 2010, 9 a.m., Metro County Court and Annex, created by the Whistler, and talks about, says the devotees they're doing again, the devotees are holding a rally to spread their lies. We cannot let them. You've heard me for years that there are people who have done
No, she's giving you a very narrative response. Exactly to identify what it is. So just here. So what?
Your Honor, Mr. Wright is just reading off the prosecution page to see what that's.
You just asked him, what is it?
I expected him to say it was a public page, nothing more. Right?
Let's limit ourselves to the question, correct?
Okay, Your Honor.
Now, you analyzed that Facebook page, right?
Yes, I did.
Is Pat Hopper's name on that Facebook page?
No, not his name.
Do you have anything in evidence in this case that specifically outlines Pat Hopper posted anything on that Facebook page?
Yes, in my affidavit, I stated that he posted on the Facebook page. Yes, I did.
Can I approach with this affidavit? Objections?
No.
Could you state where it says he posted a comment on Whistler's Facebook page?
I apologize. I used the word blog in here. They were both interchangeable. I apologize.
Use the word blog.
They're interchangeable.
Now, you also mentioned in your affidavit a quote that Hopper posted on said Devonian blog, correct?
Or Facebook page, they're interchangeable, yes.
Is that quote on that Facebook page?
If you can see here on the bottom of this Facebook page, it says older posts, meaning that he posted this
It
earlier.
is not on that page of the Facebook.
No, because this does not have every single post that everyone has posted.
You have no evidence, concrete evidence, in this case that suggests Pat Hopper did specifically create this statement or any statements of anti-Devonian sentiment on his blog.
I did the analysis from the State Regional Computer Forensics Laboratory, as established by the FBI, said that he posted. I trust the FBI implicitly.
Well, it states that the post came from his computer, correct?
Oh, would you like me to clarify that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, his computer, when they did the analysis, it was quite interesting. His computer, he changed the password every day. It was a random combination of letters and numbers, and the password actually took days to break by our experts at the Computer Forensics Laboratory. And since he had this crazy password, no one else would have been able to do it.
Is it stated in your affidavit that it says the analysis of the computer took a while because his password was old?
No, I was not responsible for doing the analysis personally. I was reporting on the results of the analysis. I went through every detail of the analysis. I would not know some of it. I am well-versed in computer-related investigation techniques, but I would not know every single little detail that they do.
Sergeant Wright, I would like you to answer the following question here, and I can simply a yes or no question if you may.
I will try my best.
Now, when you seized and analyzed Mr. Hopper's computer, it revealed that the post came from his computer, but not that Hopper specifically typed in that statement.
No, but it could be, no. It could be reasonably assumed that based on the password information I just
You are making assumptions, not concrete evidence.
it would be extremely difficult, as I explained with the password. There would be almost a 0% chance that anyone else would be able to do it, based on my experience and my knowledge.
It was submitted by the Computer Forensics Laboratory.
And they explained the information to me.
Sergeant Wright, your agency is funded by the Department of Homeland Security, correct?
That is correct.
You submit funds for complaints notified periodically?
Yes, periodically.
Isn't it true that the more funding you submit them, the more funding you receive?
Yeah.
Is there any time left?
Do you have any redirect?
I do, Your Honor. Wright, why did you leave some information out of your affidavit?
Besides the fact that some of the things like the computer password I did not do firsthand, I was just given to me, provided to me by the computer experts at the State Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory. But also, if I put every single little detail, my office is very committed to eliminating bias and hate crimes in this county, and we conduct extremely thorough investigations. And like I said on cross-examination, if I put every single detail in there, this case would be lasting for days on end. And it would
Objection, Your Honor. What he's saying right now is in breach of Montreal Rule 5:4-6, a fair extrapolation. It is not outlined in his affidavit or any exhibits in this case. Therefore, although there is some reasonable degree of extrapolation, this exceeds that degree.
Your Honor, counsel opened the door on cross by asking him about his information in the affidavit, why he left it out. So he's allowed to, under the rules, extrapolate onto that.
Right, since we're dealing simply with the issue of reasonable extrapolation or not, I'll allow the question anyway.
Thank you. Detective, what does a call indicate in your investigation in the subphone?
connection between the two cell phones.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
No response.